Hello, welcome to an all-new DC Cast Explosion Network's hub for discussing all things DC Comics related. Let's talk about everything that happened in Metropolis, Gotham, and beyond. I'm your host, Ashley Hobley, and joining me in brightest day and blackest night is Dylan Blight.
Happy to be here, talking about birds.
Sure. Yes, today we're talking about the latest episode of Lanterns. So let's dive straight in. Please be aware we'll be freely discussing everything about plot, themes, and any of the episode. So if you haven't watched it, come back later. Of course, it's streaming now on HBO Max.
Yep, that's the name.
With that said, let's talk about Lanterns, Episode 2, Trustfall, directed by James Hawes, written by Vanessa, Baden, Kelly, and Chris Mundy. While John's middling errands ultimately proves eventful, Hal makes waves in Rushville, which only inspires him to dig deeper. So, what do you think of the second episode of Lanterns?
I enjoyed it more than the first one. I thought the pacing was a lot better. It sort of helps that we're into it, I guess, sort of going. And I'm a little bit more intrigued in the general direction we're heading now with, after we get the, Manhunter word thrown around, paired with Sinestro, paired with John Stewart being kidnapped, and now we're on like a 48-hour timer, and then the mentions of blowing up the whole town, and then we know 10 years from now it does appear to be blown up. There's lots of continuing, or at least some of it appeared to be blown up. I've still got questions. Continue to be intrigued.
Well, that's good. It would be bad if 2 episodes in you've got no more questions.
I figured it all out.
Yeah, I think it was another great episode, and I think this was an episode that I would hope would have, calmed any concerns hardcore fans had about them not doing Lanterns properly and not showing any of the Lantern stuff and it being too grounded. So we get the freaking suit, and we get constructs, and we get the Lantern, and we get all this cool Lanterns cool stuff, and they're dropping in Lanterns bits, and then Sinestro shows up at the end. It's fuck. All this cool stuff for nerds as he come to the screen. But yeah, I think it was a really fantastically put together episode. Again, Kyle Chandler, Aaron Pierre doing fantastic work across the board, and like you said, continues to raise interesting questions. And again, I think this certainly is a mystery box show, but it's fun to theorize about how all these pieces are going to fit together so far, because there's little tidbits along the way that they're ooh. Because obviously we'll get into it towards the end. Actually, we'll save it. Let's dive in. Reading from number 1 movie resource, Wikipedia. Where is the tab? Here we go. This episode takes place entirely in 2016. Hal decides to give a new lesson to John. He gives him his ring and instructs him to use his instincts to fly. While John is unable to fly, they are astonished to see that he manifested a green bird. Hal then assigns John to take a plane to Coast City and retrieve his lantern to charge his ring, while forcing him to keep his bird alive. Soon after, Hal's ring runs out eventually, leaving him powerless. Fun opening. Obviously, we get the classic hard-edged trainer, dropping the bucket of water on him to get him pissy in the morning. But yeah, he's pretty much just saying, I'm on air and go pick up my stuff, please.
Well, yeah, the most interesting thing straight out the gate is the fact he's holding that bird.
Yes.
Without the ring, from a ring that was on 1% battery.
Yes. That is an interesting element of it, of putting the bird to the side for a second. Why do you think Hal's he's now's the time to learn how to fly when my ring's on 5% battery?
Or he knew he wasn't going to be able to fly. He's just continuing to fuck with him.
To fuck with him?
Yeah.
It was a hazing thing?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you think there was a possibility if he does fly, 5% battery, we see later in the episode what happens when you're in the air when there's no battery? Plummeting.
Well, yeah. That would have been...
Was that a thought in Hal's mind, do you reckon?
No, I don't. I just took it as he took it as there's 110% chances this guy does not fly.
Yeah, because I don't know if you know, Hal's a flight pilot. This is his first instinct to fly. So, it was I think we all knew it wasn't going to fly just based on the trailers and that kind of stuff. But at that moment, it's like that's the way people would fly. The arms up and then
The
down.
standing on your tippy toes.
Yep, absolutely. And yeah, little bird construct, very cute. Obviously, I don't know. Do you think there's deeper meaning to this? Obviously, he touches on it at the end of the episode. Like, what's the bird mean? It's just a bird. Do you think there's something more to it?
I assume there's something more to it, yeah. Because I think the implication is that whatever he conjured and that his ability to keep it conjured is based on how strong of thought it is to him, I guess. So it has to have some
unconscious at times during this episode,
and he still keeps it. So it's like that strong.
Yeah. When he specifically says you need to keep your concentration up.
Yeah, keep your concentration. Yeah.
So I think that's an interesting tidbit running through the episode. All right. With the Rushville people distrusting of Hal during the town meeting, he decides to retrieve the corpses of the mass shooting to use as reference in the football field. At the football field, he notices the detectors that go off in the precinct presence of the corpses. Afterwards, he's discovered, and Kerry confronts him. When he states he wants to take the corpses to William's ranch, she accompanies him. William refuses to cooperate and has a sniper shoot Hal when he refused to leave.
Yeah, just a testament
to
a
lot of fun.
Naive he is, but yeah.
So much fun. Carl Chandler's having a ball. Him going into the meeting, just like making a scene. Effectively.
You talking about me? You were definitely talking about.
Reactions to Honey, and then being, breaking into the morgue, stealing 2 corpses, driving them to the football field, and realizing that they're alien detectors, not metal detectors. How many times do you reckon we'll see that shot of how Kyle Chandler in the bleachers of the football field this is?
Well, yeah, that's
very telling. That it's like one of the first images of this episode after last week.
Yeah. I'm like, you can't go too hard on that, surely. Like, it'll get a bit silly after
surely
a while.
Not every episode, right?
Yeah. It's like really want to ram down our throat. That's where he dies. Do you remember at the end of the episode? That's where he was dead. I'm like, yeah, I get it.
He's going to end up dead here.
He's going to end up dead. I'm like, yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah. So, at the hospital, Carrie says she heard him utter the word named Sinestro in his sleep, but Hal refuses to talk about him. While leaving the hospital, Hal is confused.
Well, no, the funny thing I thought about saying was just I don't talk about that. It's classified. Well, I don't think it's too classified because I fucking Google AI'd it and
Siri says.
Yeah, Siri says this.
Yeah. While leaving the hospital, Hal is confused that the equipment is unused and there are very few patients. Lots of interesting questions around this side visit. Obviously, going back to what William Macon clearly does not want him involved. Like, he was nice at first, but he rather does not want a Green Lantern sticking around his business,
Yeah, well, he just wanted him for that one alien
to show. Yeah,
to sort of needed someone to push the bomb open. Like, now that it's the threat's out in the wild and proven, and someone else has done that, it sort of gives him the gas to his fire that we can.
I mean, it's still weird that nobody is concerned that his men pretty much. Well, now it's kind of established. It wasn't established before. His men killed those 4 aliens at the football.
Yeah, they literally based on the thing. Yeah.
I mean, it turns out they're aliens, but if they didn't know they're aliens, that would have been they just killed 4 people. No one's making a big deal about that. Outside of the football team, who are like, the kids are kind of traumatized, but we kind of still want them to play football. What would we be teaching if we didn't let them, feel their emotions and just quit? Very silly. Also, just him getting shot and like obviously pushing until finally he gets shot in the shoulder.
Yeah, at least they didn't kill him.
Again, showing he's a little bit reckless, Him knowing that the ring, him feigning that, I've got the ring, I'll stop it, when he knows for a fact he's got no.
Well, he was playing chicken because he's like, of course I'll stop it, but it's like, you can't, buddy. You're
you can't dead. You can't walk the walk. Yeah. So What do you think about the hospital? Because that's very interesting. No patients in there. We don't never see a doctor in the hospital. All the equipment's barely opens. What the fuck is up with that?
Yeah, I have
theories.
I don't know the answer, but obviously there's something weird going on there. Like the implication being that literally no one goes to the hospital, or if they do, it's only for like.
Or they change their sign-in sheet every single time after every single patient.
Yeah, but I mean that wouldn't explain why all the
Equipment
machines were in plastic and stuff like that. Still is the only problem. I mean that's a question. And then the other thing I have, I can't remember if we talked about it last week, but who did we mention last week? Who do we think the benefactor is?
I think we'll have to get that towards the end of the episode.
Okay,
we'll get into our theories. But yeah, it's very interesting. I know. I feel like that benefactor is to play as to why this town has got all its money and that kind of stuff. Like maybe.
Well, I'm assuming it's all tied into the same thing. Why is the hospital the way it is? Who's the benefactor? Yeah. All these things. I don't know.
How long has this town been a town? Things like that. That'd be an interesting question.
It's a fake town. I don't know.
It could be a fake town that they've set up to lure people in or something, or to hide the Manhunter, I guess. That kind of stuff. So yeah. Meanwhile, over in Coast City, John finds the lantern in Hall's there. John finds the lantern in Hal's vault, which is revealed to be a pocket universe. He's also forced to feed Hal's live plant Earl with beef and bison. Really skipping over a lot of stuff, but obviously he shows up at Hal's place. Massive house. Incredible, huge mansion that has barely anything in it. There's a bed, I think a lawn chair. There's a couple of photos.
When he walks into the first shot of him walking into the house, you can see nothing but over to the left. Yeah, it's like a lawn chair, maybe for a TV that's there, maybe, but that's it. And there's some pictures just on not on the wall, sitting against the wall. And then obviously he's just got a bed.
Yeah.
And he asks who he got it from, or no, how much he get paid, but then sort of implied he got it from the Pope. I don't know.
No, somebody who could, a father who couldn't save their son, who Hal saved, is effectively, and to make him feel better, Hal let that person buy him a house, to not emasculate him, I guess, big house though. I love the line, when you're moving in.
Yeah, I've lived there for however many years.
Yeah. I mean, the only place in the entire house that's got a bunch of stuff is the fucking greenhouse, which we'll get into a second. He goes into Hal's wardrobe. We see a couple of suits, physical suits again. A couple in, garment bags, but then I guess the most recent one, the least worn out one, which John does a quick fit check.
He's fit checking himself.
Yeah. He opens up the vault. No, he calls. Well, he has to be on the phone with Hal because his voice activated the vault. Line is, Mogo doesn't socialize. Great reference. Obviously, Mogo is a planet-sized lantern, a sentient planet that is a green lantern. So it can't go anywhere, so it doesn't socialize. Great bit. We pull out the lantern. What do you think of the lantern design? For me, it's a bit too glass. I was expecting to be... The version that I imagine is more of the metal green version. This one has a lot more glass than I would have thought it would.
I don't love it, but also it fits the style of the show.
And
I feel like if you try and picture more traditional looking versions or whatever, it just might have seemed too out of place. Because there's also a thing I've seen people online talking about the suit not looking good enough. I think the suit looks good and fits this grizzled, worn down version of Hal. His suit doesn't even look like it's been cleaned in 10 years,
I feel like there is an element of we need to be as far away as possible from the Ryan Reynolds film, which might be the explanation behind the lantern design as well.
Well, another thing was I rewatched Superman after this week's episode. And I don't think the suit, obviously Superman's suit is cleaner, more looked after. But material wise, they look like they're from the same universe, if that sort of makes sense.
So you're saying they got the same tailor?
I think so.
Yeah, same costume designer. Yeah. So interesting. It's fine. You'll get used to it, I suspect. Where are we up to? On his way out, he is abducted by 3 men. Despite trying to escape in a highway, he is kidnapped again when a black van slams into him sideways. John is brought before Anton, a extraterrestrial who demands to know about the Manhunters, a synthetic race responsible for genocide against their species. While a lantern, implied to be Abens was sent to execute the Manhunter, they believe he is still alive and hiding in Rushville. Anton also reveals that the victims at the mass shooting were his own men sent to find the Manhunter. They release John and give him 48 hours to locate the Manhunter, or they will intervene at Rushville. Very interesting. The highway thing, I think, obviously a moment to just like have some cool action in the episode. Like, you know, 2 things. I think it showed how powerful these aliens are because John is being thrown around that car, like up to the roof and all that kind of stuff, which I don't think most normal men would be able to do to.
No, I don't think
to
so.
John Stewart. 2, Aaron Pierre, he's coming for Tom Cruise is running.
Tom Cruise running, yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, that run down the highway. It was very impressive. Like, so impressive. It almost looked unrealistic. There's a pan shot where they're both running. It's like I feel like they're moving too fast.
Yeah, it's got the proper Tom Cruise like angled running shot, like a lot of arm movement.
Yeah. Also, maybe because the cars are coming towards him, it makes him look faster than he actually is. You know what I mean?
Maybe that's why they shoot it that way.
Yeah,
maybe that's why they did it with Tom Cruise as well.
Yeah, they don't look as fast when the cars are going past them, you know. So, very impressive. Obviously, we get this Bowen interrogation scene where I guess really the aliens, we'll just call them the alien race, are friendly towards the lanterns. Like they're not after anyone in particular. They're hunting down the Manhunter.
They're hunting down the Manhunter because the Manhunter destroyed their world.
Yes,
basically what we're told, I guess.
We are told, and I guess we're seeing like they definitely show John what happened to their planet, like that implant scene. Incredible acting by Aaron Pierre. Other shows would have just cut to what he's seeing.
Well, that's what I thought was going to happen, to be completely honest. As soon as they started putting the thing up to his head, I was like, oh, flashback scene. Or some back history scene. But then they just,
But no, you just see it on his face and like tears running down his eyes and all that kind of stuff. You don't need to. You can save your money. That's equally effective, and also just leave it to the imagination of the viewer, which will be worse than anything you possibly show. You would assume. Also, I guess you don't want to, at this point, play your hand as to what the Manhunters kind of look like, I guess. All that kind of stuff. Although, apparently they look like anybody, so maybe they would just put like them killing each other. So it wouldn't have been that visually impressive, I guess. So, he's left, given the order, 48 hours to find the Manhunters. They also mention they're also very impressed by the constructs he's got floating around. By first thinking Hal's the one doing it, but then realizing John's doing it and like being very impressed. So,
like maybe you should do this job. Maybe have you ever thought about being a Green Lantern?
Yeah, have you ever? Man, you should like probably just take the ring now. Just save us all some time. All right, returning to Rushville with the bird, John runs into Zoe at the diner. She reiterates she does not regret their one-night stand and states she loves William. Very interesting sequence. I think, like, also really, like, she is a very interesting character. I love the whole discussion about why she's with William and, like, how she really likes that he wants to be with her. Like, he could have had, like, any blonde bimbo in Texas and, like, taken her to the ranch, but she wanted her, like, a person of immigrant descent and that kind of stuff. It's like very against type. So yeah, I think their discussion is really interesting, and like I don't know if she is like Is she in love with William? I don't know. It's very interesting, just very intriguing. She's a very
I
mysterious.
don't know what her story is. I'm still confused what her play or point of and maybe it's just because she thinks he's hot. Sure, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's a TV show, so I'm assuming something
Questioning their
deeper than
motivations,
Yeah.
everything. He goes to the motel to meet with Hal, giving him the lantern to recharge his ring. John then asks about the Manhunters, revealing the threat that Anton gave him. After John destructs the bird and heads into the hotel room, Hal puts on the suit and flies to Oa to visit Sinestro in prison. He asks about the Manhunters, with Sinestro telling him that if one still exists, it would be the second greatest threat he's currently facing. So Sinestro turns and asks about John to Hal. Back to the motel, I think I'm really glad, because a lot of shows to like stretch out the time would have like maybe a day or two where John keeps all this to himself and doesn't tell Hal. I appreciate, despite Hal like pushing him pretty hard and like being kind of a dick to him. And like what I'm trying to remember what was the thing that happened right before. It was Hal showing John what he did to the car. The taking the front grill out and covering the seats in alien goo.
It's like, what is that stuff? It's alien goo, I think.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably shit, because people poop when they die. So, I mean, it's probably just dry poop, But maybe aliens don't do that. But yeah, in that moment, to actually put on all his cards on the table, I think is very interesting, and like goes to show the level of respect that I guess John has. Like, again, about the chain of command, like he's very much established, you're my superior officer, I didn't go over your head or anything. So
very military man,
military man, but
for better or worse.
I really love that moment because it's like finally these two kind of teaming up, and like I don't know how kind of respecting him a little bit, despite giving him shit. So any thoughts on that?
I don't know if he respects him more or less, or he is now going to treat him like an actual human being. But
we'll see. Maybe after this other conversation we had. So we get Sinestro, played by
a guy that looks like Bradley Cooper.
Really? I don't know.
That's what he looks like to me, to be honest. Wow, this guy looks like Bradley Cooper.
Ulrich Thomsen, who some people might know as Christian in the 1998 film Celebration, or as Kai Proctor in the Cinemax original series Banshee.
Yeah, the bad guy.
Okay. Has he been in anything recent?
Nope. Not of note or anything that stands out that we've watched. However, he's very good in Banshee. And he looks really good in this so far.
He looks good in this. What is Danish? Yeah, obviously we only get a glimpse of him, but it's fun to like you kind of put all the things in place. Obviously, we already established in the episode that Hal brought him down after he would have led some sort of rebellion. We should assume like the start of Sinestro Corps or something like that. And yeah, I guess this is going to be the classic. The police officer goes to see the prisoner to get information. It's also the added element of like this is his mentor, so and that kind of stuff. Like I think it's also very telling that he chose to put the uniform on before going to do this. So there is still there's that, but then there's also him when he did the lantern to charge the ring. Like he like powered through that oath real quick, despite like
right
really
but charge,
yeah.
bitch.
This, despite him getting very pissed about the alien last week, like reciting an oath or mocking it, I guess. So I know he's got interesting feelings about it.
It's like he's happy to shit on it or not have a care and like whatever, fuck the suit and don't make fun. But when it comes to certain people and things, like it's only he can say it's shit sort of thing is what I say. No one can say anything bad about.
I mean, it's your classic big brother thing. Like you can pick on my little brother. I can pick on my little brother, but nobody else can.
Yeah.
So, but yes, Sinestro doesn't tell anything we don't know about Manhunters, but does mention that John Stewart is the real threat to Hal Jordan. And by threat, we assume
taking his job.
Taking his job rather than actually.
How's Sinestro know John Stewart's name though?
I don't know. That's the interesting thing. Like, is word going around on or about
who's
John
he
Stewart?
speaking to in there though? Like, isn't he supposed to just be in solitude basically?
Maybe
Does he get
somebody's
time
coming to see him all the
outside?
time.
Like,
They do say that he killed one of the Guardians, wasn't it? Like, that's
he killed one of
things that
the.
Kerry says.
What do we call the
Google
leader? The
search.
little blue dudes.
Yeah.
Whatever they're actually called.
I don't think they're going to be blue dudes in this anyway.
Yeah, I think they're blue dudes.
All right. Who's the man? Do you think we've seen the Manhunter? And if so, who do you think?
I would presume, because it would make sense to plant. I'm going to go with the sheriff's husband, the lawyer.
That is my prime suspect as well. So I feel like anyone else is too obvious.
Yeah, I'm trying to pick a character that we've seen but you wouldn't consider, and that's, or maybe that's what they think.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it is William Macon. Like you said, it's fucking Kaiser Soze situation. I think the Manhunter is the benefactor behind all this stuff. Because we also established that Manhunters are really robots, or like AI. So that would also explain why they've got this technology that is able to detect aliens and that kind of stuff.
My other question is by the end of this series, are we just like introducing proper Manhunter or like good Manhunter, or
I don't. Well, right before this, I was like, is there a connection between the Martian Manhunters and the Manhunters? So apparently the Guardians specifically modeled the name and behavioral mode code of their android police force on the original native Manhunters of Mars. So that's why they've got the same name. So do I think we'll see Martian Manhunter in this? No. It is kind of weird that they're called Manhunters when they're not the same.
Like, I know they're different, but I was like, but is the point of this but I don't know.
Is the point of it to
introduce
do we think it'll
like
be
founding
a
Justice League
situation?
Like, hey?
Where the Manhunters create the Martian Manhunters, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess.
Potentially.
Well, another thing I was going to say, I'm honestly like, is the benefactor, is it too crazy just to assume it's Lex Luthor?
I think so.
Why?
I think it'd be too far. One,
Because,
it's 9 years before the events of Superman? I don't believe Superman has shown up at this point.
Superman has not shown up at this point. And that's, so many things, this episode.
That's the moment that Lex Luthor goes, we need to get rid of these fucking aliens.
Yeah, but Superman showed up as that's why I went back and rewatched it, because I was like, I need to clarify some things, because I was also like, Lex is the number one alien hating person as we've set up in that movie. So then I like rewatched it just to like see if anything stood out or whatever. But I'm still just like, even though Superman showed up 3 years before the start of that film, which is, I guess, roughly 7 years from when the series takes place. But Lex would still be old enough to be involved or whatever.
I mean, hypothetically, it could be. I don't think so.
I just feel like someone.
I don't want him tied into everything. Obviously, he was kind of tangentially tied into Peacemaker.
Yeah. But my thing is, I'm like, is it bad to have a villain that is your big bad for, let's say, phase 1, even though they've never used those words at DC. Let's say they are doing like let's just chapter 1, sure.
I think they literally called it chapter 1. Right?
Did they? Okay. So let's say chapter 1 is Lex. Is it then bad to have him sprinkled through things like that? And maybe he doesn't show up in it, but it would match his character is all I'm thinking. Like someone who's wants to kill all the aliens.
No, that's 100% true. But I also feel like it's more likely he just swoops in at the end and like takes all this technology and co-ops it.
Because there's also like the guy when he's talking to, I can't remember the guy's name, whatever. When Hal's talking to the farm or the father dude, whatever. William Mencken. He, Hal says, I've been all over the galaxy and I haven't seen technology like this. So that also, I don't know. I just kept thinking Lex this episode because I'm like,
why not theorize
technology that's ahead of its time,
yeah.
that streams Lex. Lots of money to fund things, Lex. Hatred of aliens, Lex. I'm not saying it couldn't be anyone else, but so far I'm just like, is it worth me overthinking it in a world where they could just potentially want Lex involved as this like super bad Chapter 1 DC villain that's always like had his finger in all these pies?
I think it's the Manhunter who is his son, quote unquote. John Ritter, I'll say. That's it. I can't remember what his actual name is. Just because I kind of feel like that makes like we just said.
But why is he? So he's putting up the anti-alien stuff to stop people coming to look for him.
Yes. So he's hired William Mencken to play his father, I guess. But then I think the only hole in that plan is like, what about his son with Carrie?
Well, yeah, this is my.
That is the only thing. But then he could just steal some. I don't know. Maybe he can reproduce. I don't know. And now this kid is half Manhunter. I think also it's interesting. Obviously, last episode we see a section of the town has been destroyed. So I think we can.
It seems like half the town's been destroyed.
I think we can safely say
the bomb goes off.
The bomb goes off. A bomb goes off. We know for a fact that Carrie is still there. Her son is still there.
And the other side of the town with the football field still there.
Yeah. I got another theory. I reckon Hal stays in this town. I think he's got a thing for Carrie. They've got some sort of chemistry, and I reckon he keeps watch on this town, and that's where he's been the last 10 years.
So that would imply stuff. It implies that they stop it or stop whatever to a degree, but by the end of the series, or by the end, not the end of the series, by the time we reach the end of this time period, 2016, is that what it is? Yeah. By the time we reach the end of 2016, that Hal deems that the threat has not been completely removed and he needs to stay there.
Or he's just got a gut feeling.
Yeah, or he's got a gut feeling, which he's never wrong about, I guess. So.
Yeah.
Which would then imply that if he is correct and he dies there because his gut feeling is correct, that in
26,
then whatever the threat is, Manhunter, comes back. Yeah.
Potentially. Yeah. It's very interesting. Like trying to play all these multiple timelines. I think it's probably very good that they just stuck to the one time period this episode. Like
I don't need to be jumping around all the time. Also, we know we're going to be jumping around a bit. We know, based on trails and stuff, there is more flashback stuff for Jon Stewart. So we're going to be going back.
I saw an interview with Kyle Chandler talked about the woman who's playing Jon Stewart's mother and how she has like an arc over the season. So
there you go.
We haven't even introduced her yet. So
no. So we know we're going back more, which makes sense. And we know we're going forward again because Guy Gardner's in the series.
Yes.
And he isn't around in 2016. So
and
I have a million questions about him. Again, I rewatched fucking Superman. I'm like watching it the whole time, just sitting there going,
look at the ring.
How do you end up the Green Lantern when Jon Stewart's over here? Like, I'm just like, you pompous haircut looks like a twat motherfucker.
Yeah. All right. Any other final thoughts before we wrap up?
No, I think that's it for this.
All right. Let us know what you thought of this latest episode of Lanterns by going to explosionnetwork.com/follow and let us know on social media. If you want to help us out here at All New DC Cast, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and Podchaser. Leave us 5 stars, and you can leave 5 stars or just tell people about the show. And if you want to help us out at Explosion Network with all our podcasts and written content, head on over to explosionnetwork.com/support. Thank you very much for listening. Be sure to join us next time for another all new DC cast.
Keep that bird alive.